Iron golems are protectors of villagers. When they finally meet their demise, they leave behind these valuable ingots. We need this precious resource and will farm it from the nether ceiling. Our mega farm will generate over 100 stacks of iron per hour. The Iron Age today will be conquered on the Legacy SMP server. To all the geeks and nerds out there, welcome back to another episode on the Legacy SMP server. We're starting off on the nether roof, as you can see, and behind me I've got a few friends. So I've been busy breeding up these guys. Look at them. So many. I think I've got a few too many, because today we are building our iron farm, and it's going to be right here on the roof of the nether. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of preparing since last episode. So basically we need a lot of villagers to make our iron farm. We need 48 of them. I've got way more than that, I think. So last episode we built this breeder right here, and I've been giving them food, and it was taking a long time, so I bought another one over here. So I've got another couple of villagers in there, but breeding them up too. Just gave them a whole bunch of food, and then I went AFK over there in that box, and I came back and there's lots of villagers. So I think we're good on that front. So we've got all the villagers I think we need, and over here, just to recap, we've got 4 pillagers. They are over here, all ready to go. They're all pacified, so all of their crossbows have been broken, so they are no problem. And yeah, so we need to build our iron farm right here. So I've been doing some resource gathering, and actually for this farm there's not too much. There's not actually that much you need. The main thing we need is this stuff, obsidian. And for those that want to know how to build this farm, there is a tutorial on my channel that I released recently, and I've actually done a little bit of optimization. So this version we're going to build today is slightly different. It's going to need 40% less obsidian, which is really cool, and the efficiency stays the same, so that is really good. And also there's some other little changes as well to make it a bit more convenient. But yeah, this is going to be cool. So we need to get some obsidian, so let's head on over to the end, I think, and yeah, let's see if we can get some of this stuff. Here we are above the Rainbow Road in the end. This is going to be our villager trading setup once it's all complete. But yeah, this is a work in progress. But today we're not going to work on that. We are going to be getting into obsidian. Of course, the end is a great place to come because we've got these pillars. We can mine these up, but that takes a bit of time. And we've already done that before. We've done that for our gold farm. So I thought we could try something a little bit different, and that is an obsidian farm. We don't need too much, but I think yeah, we give this a try. So we are going to use this. This is the platform that we spawn in on when we come into the end, and this thing regenerates. So let me just show you. So let me dig out this last block over here in a corner, just like that. Okay, it's gone now. Obviously that's a bit dangerous, so let's head on back over to the overworld. So if I just fly over here quickly and then jump into the portal, I've set my spawn already back in the fortress. Here we go, in the stronghold, should I say. Now when we come back, jump through here, hopefully that block is back. There we go. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, of course, with a player coming through here, that's going to be a bit boring, but this also works with items. I've made my way back to the portal room, and I'm standing here, and I've got some items in my hand. So what I'm going to do is, in a second, I'm going to throw an item into this portal, and we're going to see what happens at the other side to the platform. Now, I've got my my camera account, Logical Geekbot, over in the end, so let's hop on over there and see what happens. As you can see, I've already removed one row of obsidian before I left. So now I'm going to throw an item through the portal, and let's see what happens. Ready? 1, 2, 3, throw. Oh, look at that. The item came through. There is the item, and the obsidian got regenerated. So we can make a farm out of this. Let me jump through as well. Here I am. Hello. Where are you? Oh, there. Hi. So yeah, we can make a farm out of this. Yeah. So if we can automate this, we can drop items in, and we can also mine this automatically. Then yeah, we can make a farm out of this. So that is the next thing. I'm going to get a few things set up, and then yeah, we'll see you later. This is step 1, our first contraption for today. So this is really simple. So over here, this is a hopper clock behind us, and in here I've got 14 items. They're draining away, but you'll see them come back up in a second. So you've got 14 items here. So that's going to take slightly over 10 seconds to finish. So that means that every 10 seconds or so, this is going to get activated. That is a dropper, and of course we can put some items into the dropper. There's none in there at the moment, but if we put some items in here, every 10 seconds an item will get shot out. So if you watch this, I've put this glass around it just to make sure it doesn't fly off everywhere. It's always going to make its way into the portal, so when the redstone block comes back over here, we should see something come out. There we go, and it goes through there. So that is going to continually do this. So if we hop on over to the end, let's see these items. So they should be on the floor. Probably, oh, we just picked them up. But now let's see, do any items come through? Just have to wait a few seconds and we'll see maybe... Of course, no items are going to come through, and that's because the overworld side is no longer loaded. We need it to be loaded all the time because no redstone. There's no players nearby. Those chunks aren't loaded, and so those items are never going to come through unless we build another contraption. And that contraption starts with this, a portal. So I've created a brand new portal. Here it is, and you might be wondering where I am. Well, first of all, these yellow lines, these are the chunk borders. So I've turned these on. These are in the game. You can press F3 and G to show these, and this is important. So you can see we're in this chunk here, and if I go up this water stream just here, it's very short, and you'll see where we end up. as soon as I get up here, we're in here, where the portal room is. And you can see that this chunk that we're in is the same chunk that our portal is in, and also our little redstone device here, our hopper clock, that's also in the same chunk. So what we want to try and do is we want to load this chunk permanently, and for that we're going to create a perma loader. So that starts with portals in 1.16. So we've got this portal here, which I've created, and if we jump through here, I've got this wired up to one, a new one in the nether side. Down here, so we're right down at the floor, down at bedrock level, so we are well out of the way, and of course these link back to each other, backwards and forwards. So now we need to create a little bit of a contraption here that's basically going to be shooting an entity through here, and then it's going to go into the nether, back through this portal here, and basically cycle through over and over again, because every time an item or an entity goes through a portal, it loads the other side for 15 seconds. So if we can continue doing that backwards and forwards, then we can keep this chunk loaded. And in fact, it's not only this chunk that's loaded, it's a 3x3 around it with this as the center chunk. So that's what we need to do. So I've got a little contraption I need to build. So I've got to build one up on this side, on the overworld side, and also the nether. And we're going to be sending a minecart backwards and forwards to keep this loaded. The permaloader has been built, and I'm just waiting here to see a minecart. There we go. The minecart got dispensed, and it should return. Yes, there it is. Came back. And now it should be back in here, back in the dispenser. All right. So we've got this hopper clock right here. So I should say this is not my design. This is by Ilmango, of course. There'll be a link in the description if you want to build this up for yourself. But basically, we have a minecart here that goes backwards and forwards through the portal, as you can see. And a couple of hoppers here that go into the dispenser. The dispenser dispenses the minecart. And we've got this hopper clock here, which controls the minecart. And this has got 19 items in it. And yeah, on the other side, if we hop in through the portal, I don't want to break it. Right, there you go. Just wait for it to come through. And then we'll go to the other side of the nether and check it out. Here we go. So on this side, we should see the minecart come through in a second. So here we've got a very similar setup. We've got a cactus that breaks the minecart. There we go. And it should go back again. There we go. So underneath here, we've got a comparator. So we can see when the minecart goes into the dispenser, a little circuit here, which will then activate it back again. And yeah, send it back to return back to the overworld. Now, the big test actually is this is going backwards and forwards, which is great. And let's go back before it turns up again. Quickly. Okay, get out of the way. Okay, so let's test this thing out. So if we go back up to the portal room and add some items and then go to the end, let's see if items are being dispensed to us without us actually being here. So let's chuck a whole bunch of items into here, a bunch of netherrack, turn that clock on. Now I'm going to go into the nether. So now we need to wait here and see, do we get an item every 10 seconds or so? That is the test. Oh, there we go. There's one. Let's pick this one up. And we should get another one in a few seconds time. Hopefully. Where is it? There it is. Yes. So this is working. So now we can constantly break this. And if we do it at the right time, there we go, broken it. So imagine we collect that and then an item comes through and it should put it back again. We can mine it again. So we can just stand here AFK mining this stuff and it keeps getting replenished for us without us having to move around. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. So next thing is we need to get a beacon set up, get some hoppers in place, and then yeah, we can stock up on a load of obsidian. Back in the end, I think we're all set up. So here is the platform and you can see there's a block missing. That's because back here I've set something up. So very simple. I've got 5 hoppers just underneath this row right here, and they all lead into this hopper, which then leads into this shulker box, so we can collect it later. And there is our obsidian. So the idea is I'm going to be standing here. I'm going to block this off as well, so hopefully I won't get bothered by enderman. And I'm just going to be standing here doing this, and you can see I've got haste 2 effect. So as I break all of these, I can reach all 5 of them. There we go. They all fall into these hoppers, and then we look in here. We've got 5 obsidian. So there we go. That is the plan. So now I need to turn on the permaloader and the item dropper. I've turned them off at the moment and we should see this stuff generating. So yeah, let's turn it on and then let's give this thing a test. Okay, I've turned it all on, just waiting for the items to come through just to make sure this is all working. There we go, here's an item. So now if I was to stand here, so an item just come through, so it's not quite timed correctly, but if I time this right, as I mine this up, hopefully a new set should just appear. There we go. Brilliant. So now I've just got to stand here, just AFK, and yeah, watch the obsidian come on in. All right, yeah, I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to wait here for. And there's a newslot, yes. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, very good indeed. This is going to be, yeah, really easy. And now the setup is complete, I just have to AFK for a bit. So I reckon, through my calculations, I'm going to need about 40 minutes to collect all the obsidian we need. We need about 1,200 obsidian, but I'm probably going to leave this a bit longer, maybe get like a full shulker box of obsidian. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here for a bit, and then once I've got all the obsidian, we can come back and we can check it out. And with that, we're pretty much done. Just going to finish this last row and then we can check out the shulker box, which is totally full. Awesome. And it should be, yeah, backed up a little bit as well. All right, great. That's great. Grab all of this as well. Then we can dig our way out of here. So I've got to remove that. Got to remove this. And as you can see, my pick has taken some durability, but not too much actually. This, you know, the netherite pick lasts a very long time. So we need to take down the beacon again. In fact, I might leave it here because we might want to come back and do some more of this another time. Yeah, we'll leave it for the time being. But I did make a couple of changes before I went AFK. There was a couple of things that I changed. So let's hop on over back to the portal room and I'll show you what I did. Nothing too major, but what I did do is this. It's gone. Where is it? It's underneath. So I thought, obviously, because we're playing on a server, I wanted to be as unintrusive as possible, and I didn't really want to take it down, so I thought I could leave this here for another time. And actually, I'll just move it down here with the dropper facing upwards, so it shoots the items up through the portal through the bottom. This will work. So of course, it's nicely hidden away, so no one else can see it. I also removed one item out of this hopper, so now there's only 13 in there, I think it was. Yeah, 13 I think is in there, so that means the portal regenerates just that little bit quicker. There was a tiny bit of a delay, so that's that all done. So now we've got the obsidian we need. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn both of these off. We don't need to have this now permaloaded the whole time. Let's try and be good server mates. So let's go down here, turn this off, and then we can get over to the nether, onto the roof, and build this iron farm. These guys will soon be in their new home. I've made a start up here, so here we go. Let's have a look at this thing. So here is a bunch of netherrack, but basically wherever you see these glass blocks, this is where the villager pods are going to be. So what I've decided to do here is to try and do this as we go, kind of get the villages in place. I'm running short of rails, so I'm going to have to build some more, but basically what I've got here is this rail track that goes around this kind of U shape to each of the 4 pods at this level. And next to the glowstone, which is where the villagers need to be, I've put this activator rail, so as the cart comes up, it should eject them onto that block. And I've put these other blocks around it so they can't get out. Now, we will have to put some beds down a bit later on, but I would want to do that last because beds explode. And we need to be very careful we don't misclick. So let's see if we can get a villager in. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work or not. So I've got a minecart here. So I'm just wondering if I put it down here, will it pick one up? Let's have a look. Oh, it does. Has it gone in? Did it work? Did it work first time? Well, that is unheard of. Something's worked first time. Okay, so that is the plan. So I need to try and get... there's the cart over there. We can grab that now. Fall off the edge. There we go. Grab you. So now we need to get another villager. So I'm going to try and get these 3 up first into that first pod, and then I can disable that activator rail there, and then do the next one. See if we can get all of these 4 pods in first, I think, and then we build the portals above them, so we get an idea of what we're looking at. Things are starting to take shape. We now have 12 portals. There are 3, and we've got another 3 in each of the corners over here, and we've got all the villagers in place. That wasn't too bad. I did have a few issues where the minecart would drop off one but then pick up another one, so I might change my tactics slightly when I do the other layers. So I'm going to do some experimentation with that, but got them all in. So there's 3 in each of these cells now, which is great, and obviously all the portals are in place. So down here I've made some other changes. As you can see here, I've extended the the area for the villagers villagers, and I've also added a bell over here. So this is to encourage them to walk over here, because when it's meat time they will congregate around the bell. So they basically have all walked over this way, and then of course you get a few that are by the rails, so I can put down a minecart and get them in, and that's how that's all worked out. So pretty good. Yeah, so some issues with the minecarts. I think it was because originally over that side I had the curved rail right next to the activator rail, and it kind of dropped one off and then picked one up straight away, and that kind of caused a few issues. So I've moved that around. So I'm going to try again with the next layer and see how we go. Obviously this is going to go really high because we're going to have 4 layers of this, so it's not going to be quite at build height, but pretty high. So I'm just thinking about the best way to get these villagers up there. Obviously minecarts will be fine, we can do that. I'm not sure if there's a better way, I'll have to think about that. But yeah, I think we're ready to build the next layer, and I think I'm going to build all the layers first, and then we'll get the pillagers in the center and do the whole bit of redstone for them as well right at the very end. All right, let's get cracking. Let's build some more layers. I've been sitting here pondering, how can we get these villagers up high above the bedrock ceiling? I wish I could teleport them. Well, guess what? We can, with the portal. So here's what I've done. I've broken all these portals, and I've also set up a portal up there. That needs to be lit in a second, but also set up the pods for the other villagers. So my plan, I have no idea if this is actually going to work, but my plan is to get these villagers through this portal. They'll go to the overworld, and I've already blocked off the killing area, so we already have the lava, that kind of stuff. I've blocked all that off already. So then I can break this portal, like this one, go to the overworld, push them through, and they should teleport from here up to there. Then we can put down the beds. They'll walk over, get into their beds at night time, and then when they wake up, they'll be in their pods. Should work, right? Let's give it a try. Okay, broke the portal. So I think they're all through. Let's count these up. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I think... yeah, that's right. Yeah, 9. Got 3 pods. Yeah, okay, cool. They're all here. Good. So now it's a case of waiting for night time, and we should, hopefully, see them get into their beds. Let's just pillar up here so we can see this happen. So we've got a little bit of time till night time. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Here they go. It's night time. They're going in. They're in. They should all pick a bed each. There we go. Okay, I need to break the blocks so they can't get out again. So let's do that and try not to break or explode the beds. They're done. Get over here, quick. Don't want them waking up. Somebody else might sleep. So let's break that. Okay, and the last one over here. Quick. Uh-oh, where's he gone? Have we got a casualty? We might have had a casualty. Okay, there's one left. He may have fallen to his demise. We might have to get another one. Oh dear. Well, let's see what happens when they wake up. I've managed to get another one through, and he's gone over to his bed. Let's break this now. That was lucky. That was very lucky. He walked over to his bed. Okay, so just waiting for night time. He'll get into his bed and then join his friends over there. That is going to be pretty cool. All right, this worked out pretty well. I'm actually very happy about this. Now I might leave the portals here so we can get the pillagers up here too, because the next pillager needs to go in this area over here in the center. So I think we'll leave these here. I'll break them, but now I'm going to do the same for the next 2 layers up. Get all the villagers in place, and then we can build the rest of the farm around them. And here I am trying to wrangle the villagers, and as you can see, they start moving towards the beds, but actually it's meat time. They've decided to have a meeting in the worst possible place, and look what happens. Disaster strikes. There's too many of them, and they end up pushing each other off, and I lose probably half the villagers I had up there. Not very good at all. That's because there's the bell right underneath them, so they decided to meet there. But then I got smart, I moved the bell to the center, and then that was all good. But now they all try to get into their beds. There's 2 down here in the bottom right fighting for the bed. I tried to deal with it, and a guy sneaks in and steals it. But this tactic worked out really well. With the villagers in place, it's now time to build the spawning platforms, and as you can see, this is slightly different from the design from the video I put out a little while ago, and in fact we're only using 3 portals instead of 5, and there's a 2-block gap in between. That's because it doesn't matter which of the white blocks the golems spawn on, their hitbox will intersect with the portal and then get transported immediately to the overworld, where they are going to be dealt with with some lava. But yeah, this doesn't take too long, so I make sure that I lit it up because we're in a soul sand valley, and we had a couple of skeletons spawn, so make sure you light this up as you go along, and there's a risk of gas when there's one right there. But we dealt with that and got all these portals in place. Next up, we're going to get the pillager core set up, and the first pillager is pretty easy. We can use a minecart to get him in, just plop him in place, no problem at all. But then we're going to build the central brain of it, and that is going to be a little bit different from the design. Here we're going to have a string in the head of the pillager with an observer, and then this slime block and redstone kind of tower that goes up that controls the next pillager. So that means we can have one timing clock at the bottom that controls all the pillagers, and then it's time to get the pillagers in place. So here we are using the same portal we use for the villagers. Just open it up and get this pillager. Luckily he walked all the way through, and then it's a case of getting him into his pod. So then we just have to go to the overworld, get him through the portal, and then come over to the nether side. And this time he was very cooperative, got into place nicely, and then we just push him in. We're almost there. I've pretty much built it now, and all the pillagers and villagers are all in place. Look at this. This is look, you can barely see the top pods up there. They're pretty dark for me. I guess on YouTube they might be even darker, but we can just about see them right up there. But yeah, it was all right actually. It wasn't too bad. Getting the villagers in place was the worst, and this guy is the last surviving villager. There are none left. Look at this. Oh, there are none left in here. Look, it's totally empty. I think I must have had around 70 villagers, and I only used 48, and he's the last one. So I lost quite a few. Quite a few fell off. They pushed each other off. They just walked off the edges. So if you are going to build this, make sure you've got plenty of villagers, because they do kamikaze quite often. But yeah, using the portals to get them up was definitely the right way to do it. That really saved a lot of time. But yeah, we're all set up, and here we've just got one clock here. This is going to control all of the pillagers. So I need to put a redstone torch right there, and when I do that, this guy is going to lift up, and then he's going to be able to see these villagers, and then they should start spawning some golems. So all that's left is to light all the portals, just make sure they all work and connect to the overworld as they should, and then turn this thing on. That's all we've got to do. So I've got my flint and steel. I'm going to just go up here now, get all the portals turned on, and then see if this thing actually works. Here it is. The iron farm is complete. Look at all these portals. Oh, this is looking ace. Looking really good. Okay. Now, the moment of truth. It's time to turn it on and see if this thing will actually produce 100 stacks of iron per hour. 100 stacks. We are going to be the richest player on the server in terms of iron, at least. This is going to be really cool. Look at this. Oh, okay. Okay, it's time. No more delaying. We need to try this thing out. All right, I'm going to get my camera account over to the overworld, and then we can watch the golems come on through. So all I've got to do on this side is to place this redstone torch on this block, and once I do it, we should see some golems. Now is the moment of truth. Redstone torch is in my hand. I'm ready to place it. Logical Geekbot is in the overworld. Let's place it and see what happens. Okay, all the pistons moved up. Let's see how long it's going to take them to spawn golems. Oh, look at that! Whoa! That is a lot of golems. Oh, my geez. Look at this. Burning up. So we should get that many golems every 35 seconds. This is going to be glorious. Look at this. And these chests are not going to last very long. these are going to need to be sorted out. So I'm going to add a proper sorting system. Probably shulker box loaders under here in due course. But for today, that was pretty good. Wow. Okay, let's just hang around here just for another second. Let's see. Can we see the next wave? There they go. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, epic, epic. Oh, that is so good. And they fall into the lava and get burnt up. Oh yes. Anyone need some iron? I've got plenty. Now, of course, with this farm, we need to have the nether loaded for this to work. So that's my plan. My plan is that all the time I'm working in the nether, in that area, this farm is going to be loaded. Now, of course, if we wanted to, we could set up a perma-loader like we did earlier on in the episode for the obsidian farm to keep this area loaded all the time. It doesn't need to be loaded by a player. So we might do that, but I get the feeling that the time I spend just working in the nether, this is just going to produce plenty of iron for us. We're not going to need to do anything like that, but we might set up a perma-loader for it. We'll see what happens. I don't want to lag the server. Look at this, it's just non-stop golems. Oh, this is absolutely glorious. Look at it, fantastic. And a shot from the top, there we go, they all come out. Kind of explode out of the portals, but then the water takes them to their demise, and then they are just burning up here. Oh, I could watch this all day long. Brilliant. Now, of course, we've got some water underneath. That's there to push any of the iron that ends up on that side into the hoppers and then into the chests. There was a bug in a recent snapshot where entities weren't burning if they were in water and lava. That's now been fixed. So this farm will continue to work. We don't have to change anything here. That is all good. All right. That was pretty successful. And now you've seen it working, let's quickly recap just to have a quick look at this thing properly. So I've got my camera account over here. So I'm down here AFK in this safety box. There I am. What a handsome chap. But anyway, here is the farm. And yeah, let's start from the bottom. So we've got this clock here. So this is the hopper clock, and that the hoppers are filled with 5 stacks of items. And they control the pistons that are underneath the pillagers here. And so that means that they will be lowered every now and again, which gives the villagers around a chance to sleep. And when they do that, the pillagers will then there's a string inside their head, so when they drop down there's an observer that notices that from the string and then affects all of the other pillagers above. So the slime block tower above there will make sure that all the pillagers are lowered all at the same time and then raised again, so all villagers can all sleep. So that means we just have to have one clock controlling all of the pillagers. And of course then for each of these villagers pods, they're all the same, 3 villagers, 3 beds, and then this spawning platform above them. So as I said before, the golems can spawn on either of these two or either of these white concrete blocks, and it doesn't matter which one they spawn on, they'll always intersect with one of the portals, and so they all go through to the overworld immediately. And that means that the villagers countdown timer to the next time they can spawn is reset immediately, and they can spawn golems every 35 seconds. And yeah, all these spawning platforms are all spread out just to the perfect amount, so there's not going to be any conflicts with like for example this pod of villagers seeing a golem over there. So yeah, this is all pretty cool, and it's working out very well indeed. So this is going to produce over 100 stacks of iron per hour. That is really epic. Now this is how we make an iron farm. Iron for days, check it out. This is a great success. I'm very happy how this turned out. Wow, that was really cool. So we have got iron for days. We have no more shortages of iron, so we can move on to the next projects, which are going to be in the Nether fortress and around the area. And all the time we're there working, this stuff is going to be loaded, and those chests down there are going to fill up super quick. So we're going to have to get some better storage, but we'll do that another time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, then please hit the like button. And if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. And if you've got any comments or suggestions, check these guys out. If you've got any comments or suggestions, then get in that comment section. Alright, my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.